There's like houses like that where aid stations just.
Yeah. Now there's another one of that bridge, which you were probably right near that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, do you remember kind of where you was at near that bridge?
Oh
I mean,
yeah. Well, I walked across it
okay.
once. Yeah. You see, you can tell I walked across it. Look how it's sinking down in the water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you got your feet wet for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the bridge right there, and when they were driving across it and stuff. And there's just another picture of another building kind of similar to it. And
Yeah, a house like that is like an aid station was in just about like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Here's one of the bell tower in the center of town. That's probably
Yeah.
more of a.
You know what the Germans used that for?
Uh-uh.
I can't think of the name now. Where you got they use an object to in other words, when they want to call artillery,
Okay.
and so many yards away, they'd use that. To,
It's a landmark,
what?
like a landmark.
Yeah, but they call it something. I forget what.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they used that for too.
Yeah, so they knew where to drop the artillery,
Yeah.
from that point. Yeah, I don't know what I think. Something object maybe. I can't remember what the word was that they used for that.
Well, they call it some kind of a pole.
Okay, a
I
pole.
forget what it was, but anyway.
Okay. There's just another shot of some houses there in town.
Yeah. They get some.
That was just like a tree-lined street there.
Yeah.
Now this one here, I don't know if I see anything. Now this is looking east, but my uncle and G Company were up here. That's where he got killed, was right up on top of that hill. There was 4 of them got killed up there.
What was the date?
October 7th,
Yeah.
in the evening.
3 days before I got.
Yeah. So you guys were in there fighting, the Germans for 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
before you got them out of there.
Well, Vagney, and there's another. I can't think. I could bring the book. I could say it's
Oh, Zane
Villa or something.
Zanesville or
Yeah,
Zanesville.
something like that. Yeah.
Zanerville
So
or
we had
something.
to take all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was just like right next to Vagney
Yeah.
was
Oh yeah.
was Zanevillers. That was the name
Something
of
like
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Mansfield in Ontario.
Yeah.
Only it was
A lot
closer
closer.
than that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was where my uncle was, right up on top of that ridge on the evening of the 7th of October, and Lamar saw him just 10 minutes before he got killed. There'd been a counterattack in the evening on the 7th. And when the counterattack was over, he said, and Lamar's foxhole was on the back side of the hill. He was watching the back side. And my uncle come over top the hill and said, "Hey, Sergeant's been shot in the arms." He goes, "I'm taking over the squad." So Lamar come up out of the foxhole and shook his hand and said, "Well, I'm glad to have you as my squad leader." Well, he went back down his foxhole. My uncle went back over top the ridge. Well, 10 minutes later, another guy come over the hill. And he goes, "I'm squad leader." And he goes, "Well, Ben was just here. He said he's squad leader." And he goes, "You see that last artillery round hit the top of that hill?" And he goes, "Yeah, I saw it hit." He goes, "Well, that's the one that got him." And he got hit in the right leg, but I think he bled to death because.
Well, there's a vein goes down it,
Yeah.
and I'd say 90% of the where they had to hit the leg off.
Amputated, yeah.
There's a sniper or a machine gun would hit that vein, and and they put a turns on you. Then you get gangrene in your foot.
Yeah.
And so when you get gangrene, they had to take it off. So they
Yeah.
always made sure they're high enough, and you could get that's a good stump for a prosthesis.
Yeah. Well, because I got his report years later about my uncle. When they buried him over in Epinal, and they said that he had a large wound in his right leg, and they said that's what killed him.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't think they got a tourniquet on it fast enough or something, but he bled out and he died. But
Well, you'd be surprised. One of those big veins, how fast they can bleed.
yeah,
He could have bled in 6 or 8, 10 minutes before they got put.
yeah, before the medic even got to him.
Yeah.
Now, when you got wounded, I mean, did they put a tourniquet on you or something?
Well, I'll explain this. Like I said, we was behind that warehouse,
Yeah,
and just a few yards down, I thought it was like building a house, and then the war come along, so they're just living in the basement. Well, it was a bomb shelter, I found out later.
yeah,
And Horrigan was going to go in behind this,
the bomb shelter building.
no,
Oh,
like I said, I have a hard time.
that's okay.
Yeah, this big building.
That warehouse, yeah.
And behind, there was cement block deals about, it was probably this wide,
Okay.
and probably 6 foot deep. And they didn't have a health department there, so so people who worked in that, they had to urinate. They could. I mean, it was just a thing in the floor.
A drain or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
And he was going to go in there, and when that first shell hit, and I'd seen him, and I was a ways away, and everybody else took off, and I went up to tell Horrigan, don't close the door,
Yeah.
because you do when a big shell hits, the concussion just do you under. So okay,
Yeah.
and got there, and then about Frank White and Stein.
Yeah.
I took basic training with both of them, and Frank White and I was foxboat both.
Foxhole buddies.
Yeah, but they got wounded on going into southern France.
Okay.
And Frank I seen him first, boy, and Stein. Well, this Stein, I kid him. He was, I think, 3 or 4 years old.
Wow.
And when he went on Anzio, wasn't on Anzio a couple of days, he got a little wound, and he went back to the hospital, and he stayed there. And when we pushed off for Rome, then he got another little scratch, and they took him back, which was fine,
Yeah, yeah.
But when he come back, like I said, we were supposed to have a hot meal.
Yeah.
And he was in the line to go there, and I seen him. I said, "Hey, Stein, give me that sign you're giving them Kraut, because getting a little scratch and going to the white shits." And he laughed. He said, "I'll tell you later, So, and then about that time, the shells were really coming in.
Yeah.
And so Wheeler, he was from Steubenville, Ohio.
Okay.
And he looked like he could kill a bull elephant,
Yeah.
But he had his chest was like a chicken, and his heart problem or something.
Oh.
And when he was on Anzio and stuff, he was on a machine gun, so they didn't have to do like we did, running and so on.
Yeah.
And so for the landing of France, they made him a truck driver.
Okay.
And I was standing there where Horrigan was right behind me.
Uh-huh.
And he come around, he said, "Come on, Van, let's go." And I said, "Where are you going, Wheeler?" I said, he said, I said, well, them Krauts have been dropping them shells around on me for putting there 10 months now. I said, they'll knock it off after a bit. Well, they did.
Is that about when the shell hit?
Yeah. So then he was standing there, and well, about half of me, well, just about like his was been me, and he's talking, and that's when. Well, I'll go back a little bit. Story.
Okay.
We trained in Fort McClellan, Alabama.
Yep.
And coming home for 10 days before we go overseas.
Okay.
And we was on the train going back and going down. We went. It was about 14 hours from the time we left Fort Hays, so we was in Fort McClellan.
Yeah.
But then when you're coming back, we tried to sidetrack so
Sure.
that freight trains and everything else passed, you know. So it was 27 hours, and we wasn't even to Cincinnati yet. And here come Wheeler comes.
Yeah.
And boy, he started talking to me. And it was the first time I ever talked to him. I knew him and talked
Yeah.
about speed, but oh man, he had to go to Steubenville. I said, well, they got to go to Cincinnati, and then he would go on to Steubenville.
Yeah, head up that way.
And I'd come to the Columbus, and then
Yeah.
the Columbus to here.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I says, you in a big hurry to get home? He said, yeah. You got a girlfriend? He says, yeah. And he showed me his wallet. Oh, I said, beautiful blonde.
Yeah.
And I said, man, she said, really nice. Are you thinking on getting married her? He said, it's my brother's wife. And
Oh.
when that shell hit, the first thing I heard, he said, my God, I got my balls shot off.
Oh, Lord.
And what before I didn't even have to think, boy, his brother's wife saved now.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he get injured then too with the blast?
Yeah, well, he got a little bit in his shoulder and down in here, just, and I got the bulk of the rest of it. So,
So it was just the two of you, you and Wheeler, that got injured?
the piece that shot my leg off, broke Horrigan's leg up higher,
Oh.
and there's hollering for the medics. I said, now, fellas, get yourself together.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're going to go into shock. I said,
Yeah.
telling yourself, I'm wounded, but I'll be okay. I'm wounded, but I said,
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
or you're
yeah.
going to go into shock. And they did. I said, I'll go get you some help. I didn't know I was wounded yet.
Yeah.
I reached down and, man, I said,
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah. So, but I crawled around that warehouse, and my buddies inside see me, and they come, about a dozen of them come out, and I said, there's three guys around there, Horrigan, Wheeler, and the other guy, I never could pronounce his name.
Yeah.
But anyways, all three of them, so they got him, and they come back in, and by that time they had me in the warehouse, and passing me up a little bit, and so, I was in the
The aid station?
Tenfield Hospital for,
Oh.
I think, 3 days, and then we flew me to Italy,
Oh, to Naples.
Naples,
Yeah.
and I was there, and this young guy on crutches come back here, and he said, what company is he in? I said, B Company. He said, so am I.
Yeah.
And he said, what, battalion, 1st Battalion. Yeah. He said, so am I. 7th Regiment. So am I. He kept saying that. I said, finally I said, no, I never seen you before in my life. He says, when the guys come back from the hospital and a bunch of replacements,
Yeah.
I was one of them. I was in that bomb shelter. Now that's the only reason I know it was a bomb shelter. He said, I was in there